Hi there, nice to have you with us on a Thursday. And that means, of course, it's travel time. If there are two things that get me going, one of them is cooking, the second one is travel. If you can combine the two, hello, I'm on that plane, wherever it's going, okay? Bianca Mazur is the general manager at Flight Centre. Nice to have you in the Mansfield Today studio again, Bianca.
Yes, it's lovely to be back again. Thanks for having us again.
In a time where, once again, everything is up in the air on the back of the announcement this last Sunday by President Ramaphosa.
Yes. I think, we have been through this over a year now in travel. If there's one thing I can say is that our travel experts, we're very used to the change and we do see these kind of changes coming, so we always prepare ourselves. So, yes, a lot has changed. Leisure travel into and out of Gauteng, that's been put on hold for the next couple of days. But I think we have to do what we have to do as a country. So it's very important to just put plans in place for that.
Bianca, there are a few things that we've touched on over the past few weeks with various people from Flight Centre. And maybe it's a good time now to just sort of consolidate some of those. One of them is let's go through a few of them. Where are most people, because there are some areas that have opened up, where are most people wanting to travel where, of course, they can?
Yeah, so Maldives has actually been quite popular, and I know that you've had one of my colleagues on here chatting about that.
Yeah.
Everybody's waiting for Mauritius. We have heard that as of the 1st of October, we can travel to Mauritius. Obviously, for South Africa, that would mean vaccinated travelers. But those are normally the Zanzibars normally there. But I think people are really starting to gear up and hoping that once vaccinations are done, they can get to visit their families and friends overseas. So that's really something that is being inquired upon. Those normal questions are still being then. When will borders open? And it's really just to take on the government's, what they pronounced to us. We have to really go forward and make sure that we're prepared for all of that. But consultants are always there to help. Our experts are still in the shops even during this level 4 that the president has spoken about. But our consultants are all still in store 9 o'clock till 5:30 daily to assist with all the changes as it does come in for our customers. So we're prepared.
Well, we're actually going to be crossing in a short while to one of your consultants down in one of your Cape Town stores in the form of Nicole Bester. But the other big topic that has come up in our weekly chats has been this whole thing about hesitancy, about what people are what prospective travelers are hesitant about given the COVID restrictions.
Yes, customers are, still asking a lot of questions about, what will happen when I get to the destination. And we make sure that our consultants in store are updated daily. We have communication that goes out through emails, when destinations open, where do they quarantine, and that's updated on a daily basis. So I do believe that dealing with an expert now keeps the customers, with that peace of mind that when they do need the information, and you want to make sure you've got the right information when you travel to these countries. So no people better than our 200 experts nationally. I mean, we actually worked out that we have 14,000 years of travel experience.
Wow.
In our shops in the front end alone. So, they've been with us a long time. They know what they're doing. And the customers must feel more than welcome to come in store or pick up the phone. We're available on all channels to assist with any questions.
And as we've said before so often, in this time of indecision, one of the businesses that people are turning to where they're wanting, as opposed to just going on the internet and doing everything themselves, where they're wanting the information, because the information is vital. It could, if you get it wrong, leave you stranded somewhere.
Definitely.
And they need that expert help behind them. Speaking of people who have been left stranded, Nicole Bester said we were going to be joined by one of your branches, is down in Cape Town. Nicole, welcome to the Mansfield Today studio. Thank you for joining us.
Hi. Thank you.
Tell us, relate to us this story about the passengers who are stranded in the Maldives.
Yes, I had a family of 4, just as the president last year announced that the borders were going to close. They were stuck and we had to get them back home. It's ended up in a whole repatriation flight that we had to organize with the honorary consul of the Maldives. And in the end, it turned out to bring all the South Africans back to South Africa. So it was quite the good story.
But I mean, that must be a fairly stressful thing. Well, obviously for the people who are stranded, but also for you guys as well. You know, having to coordinate all of these different elements. You know, it's not just the medical aspect of it, but it's the diplomatic aspect. It's the getting them to the right place at the right time for the right reason. It must be very stressful.
Yes. It is quite stressful, but luckily we have a lot of resources enabling us to help people to get back home. And we don't give up. If you're not home, we won't give up.
You're at the front line. What are you finding? What's the feedback from prospective passengers? What are people really wanting? If somebody could walk through your front door, you're at Village Square in Cape Town.
Village Square in Durbanville, yes.
Yeah. So if somebody walked into your store right now, what do you reckon would be the 3 things that they would be really wanting if they could do anything?
A lot of them wants to go visit their family. There's a lot of grandparents that haven't met their grandkids, and they actually essentially just want someone to hold their hand from the start to the end of the process. There's so much news going around. They don't know what they can trust, what they can't trust. So luckily we are there to double check things for them. We are there to help them, get them their flight tickets, let them know what COVID tests they need, everything from start to the end. So it's just that someone holding their hand, getting them to their end destination that they want. They want that comfort.
Holding their hand from 2.5 meters away.
Well, not physically holding their hand.
Nicole, thank you very much for your input and thank you for joining us on the show this morning. Let's come back to you as my earpiece just jumps out. And I'll just throw that away because I don't need it, because I don't need to listen to you through an earpiece at least. Right. The big thing that has come out in our discussions in the past, Bianca, has been the whole thing of the advice you would give to somebody who is going to be traveling. What do they need to know?
I think what's very important is customers need to go get the advice on where they're traveling to. Mm-hmm. Things change every day within travel, and we have to be fluid. But, you know, as I said earlier, we get a lot of information from suppliers. We get information from airlines, especially even now today as we speak, going into this new lockdown. Airlines are already sending us information of rescheduling flights. But you need to know what you're going to do. It costs a lot of money if you're not getting the expert advice. And that's why we have the experts in the front end. They're there to assist, just as Nicole said. They deal with customers on a daily basis coming in asking 100 different questions. But if I can say, get the advice you need. Make sure you just don't go make a booking, because anything can change, and we'll be able to tell you what can change and how to prepare you for that.
Yeah, exactly. It's uncertain times, as Bianca has said. Things can change like that, and you've got to be prepared for it. So that's where you need the expert help as well. Bianca Mazur, General Manager, Flight Centre, thank you very much for joining us once again.
Thank you. It was great to be back.
And thank you for joining us as well. We'll be back next week, once again on Thursday, with another edition of The Travel Show. Maybe one of the things we should look at next week is the whole thing surrounding COVID testing and COVID vaccination ahead of travel. Let's take a look at that, because we'll also bring in an expert who has a very different way of handling the COVID testing, where they actually come to you. to do your COVID test. We'll touch on that next week, right here on Mansfield Today. Thank you very much for joining us. We hope you enjoyed the show. If you did, then press the like button. And if you'd like to subscribe, then press the subscribe button. Until next time, cherry bye.